one. Hello and welcome to the Hollywood Persona podcast. My name is Mitch Burns, and Ant is back. He was away last week. How was your time off?
Great, man. I went on a family vacation up to Massachusetts, and it was
Nice,
fantastic. I did
nice.
did definitely miss out on some movies while I was gone. I had to scratch the itch as soon as I got back, so I'm glad to be back.
I know I saw more in theaters than you did. Well, you've been to the theaters more, but you like rewatched Barbie
Yep.
and stuff. And you rewatched Oppenheimer?
Yeah, I've seen it a
Yeah.
second time
Yes, I
since we
don't.
talked.
Yeah. Um, yeah, my aunt lived in Massachusetts for a long time, so
Really?
I never went there, but she loved it. So
Yeah,
Boston, Mass.
it's got some nice things to it. And we went to this place called Cape Cod, which is like it's like the beach area off
Oh
of
yeah,
Boston.
yeah, Cape Cod. I
And it
actually
was
I have been to Boston, Mass.
oh,
Actually, I went
nice.
there once to visit her, but I was like 12. I don't. We didn't really do anything. I know we went to a zoo or something. So
Okay, okay. Yeah, it's great. We've been going there for 30 years, every single year for a full week. This was our
oh, that's
32nd
awesome.
year. Yep.
Oh, so today we're going to be reviewing Meg 2, The Trench. I've seen They Cloned Tyrone, and I'm excited to talk about that. We both saw Talk to Me, and I saw The Angry Black Girl and Her Monster. And I think Ant's going to maybe talk a little, I'm going to put it in here, a little bit about Haunted Mansion. He
Yeah.
did see it, so
Yep.
yeah, so he'll bring that up. We got some movie news for you as always, and then we'll tell you at the end after our reviews what is coming to streaming, VOD, and then coming to theaters, all that jazz. So yeah, movie news. Rest in peace, William Friedkin, Oscar-winning director for The French Connection and nominee for The Exorcist, director of other great films such as To Live and Die in L.A., Sorcerer, Cruising, and many more. Friedkin has a legal drama coming out called The Kane Mutiny Court Martial, and that it's got Kiefer Sutherland in it and Jason Clarke, and it will be it's supposed to be at the Venice Film Festival in September, and he would have been 88 on August 29th. Great director. I ended up watching French Connection this week just because I'd never seen it. Have you ever seen
Dude,
it?
no, and I need to, and I'm glad you wrote this one on here because we have to talk about this because I don't think we ever did. Did you remember back in June, the
Mm-hmm.
whole news story around the French Connection? It it
No.
it it like Disney randomly censored it and didn't tell anybody. They literally edited William
Oh
Friedkin's
yeah.
movie because one of the characters in the movie says the N word, and it's horrible and it's really it's harsh when it hits your ear. But
Mm.
his character in the movie, that's who he was. He was a crooked cop in New York back in the 70s.
Yeah.
And yeah, this is like it blew up on Twitter and people were asking, William Friedkin, did you do this? He had no idea about it.
Mm.
Um, and it was only censored in the United States and the UK. Every
I
other
was gonna
country,
say because I remember the N word because it is kind of a shocking N word, like
yeah, yeah.
and there's only like one, and it was a little shocking, and then he definitely says like the F word, like the queer
Yeah, yeah, that's
slur,
slur,
a
yeah.
couple times too, which or once I think, which was interesting, but yeah, it's of a time, right? It's
Right, right. Yeah, it's
yeah,
you can't go back and change the past just because we now know that that's a little taboo to use that word.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah, I think that's really ugly and a nasty precedent to set. Because
yeah,
they should just do what they did with Gone with the Wind or whatever else. Just put a block
yeah,
of text. Some people might find this offensive or blah blah blah. Just put it in
yeah.
context. Let the movie play.
Like they do that with Bugs Bunny and stuff now, and
Yeah, there you
they
go.
even did it with like a Muppets, one of the Muppets movies, because I watch those too much. And they have one of the Muppets movies says it might have some outdated content, just like the way like the women are maybe talked to and stuff, right? And it's
Yeah.
it's good to for parents to be aware if they're gonna sit down and watch with their kids, and then they can say that's not how we would address someone today, blah blah blah, right?
Yeah,
But
I don't have a problem with that. You know, some people will say, "Oh, we're too sensitive and everyone's turning into a wuss," and but just to put a block of text before anything to say something,
what
what's
does
the
a
harm there?
warning hurt? What
It doesn't
like
hurt.
it doesn't hurt. It's
It
it's
doesn't
just
hurt.
just letting people know, but
Yep. So yeah,
I
that's the
don't know.
French Connection. I need to watch it now. So it was
Yeah,
great, I'm sure, right?
it was really great, and like I wasn't into it. I don't know. I'm gonna watch it again because the first like act I was kind of wondering what was going on. I couldn't really get into it, but then that it builds and it builds in the last act with the best train subway
Heist or
sequence
something.
you've
Okay.
ever seen. It's just insane. Like
Damn.
they've got the train on the upper level, and then like he's driving underneath and he knows there's somebody on the train. It's so tense. It's just so well done. So
Cool. Yeah,
and
I'm embarrassed to see. I haven't seen To Live and Die in LA, Sorcerer, or Cruising, and I know
yeah.
Cruising is great too.
Yes, and Sorcerer is amazing. Sorcerer's if he didn't make The Exorcist, I would say Sorcerer is my favorite of his. But
I've been hearing a lot of people say that around now that he's died. People are
yeah.
like, he's not just The Exorcist. He made all other good movies.
Yeah. I think well, the horror community is so big, right? So people
Yeah.
love to claim directors when they can, and of course there's the new Exorcist coming out this year. And
Oh boy. Yeah.
it just got an R rating, so I'm
Oh,
happy to
that's
hear
good. At
that.
least
So
they didn't try and cheap out with the PG-13.
yeah. So Sixto Rodriguez, the subject of the documentary "Searching for Sir Sugarman," has passed away, which is a huge spoiler for that movie. But
Oh, I didn't
um,
know that. That's sad.
yeah, I love that documentary. It was
Me
really good.
too. It blew me away.
Blew me away. I don't know why it blew me away, but it just shocked me. And I saw an Australian friend kind of say, "Yeah, we made him famous." Like I remember having his records and stuff
That's so
before.
crazy.
They say that he outsold people. He outsold Elvis in some
What?
places like Australia and stuff. Like so, and we
Oh,
just
it's such
had.
a good movie, listeners. If you've never seen Searching for
Hmm.
Sugar Man and you don't know anything about it, don't look up anything. It's
Yeah,
best to go in blind. It's about
yeah,
a musician, and it's just a phenomenal documentary.
yeah. So good. And in news, my 8-year-old son will be happy to hear Sonic the Hedgehog 3 has begun filming without actors
Oh,
to
that's so funny.
try to get a head start. Obviously, they can't use actors or writers right now because of the strikes, but they are going to try to film whatever they can. So I don't know. Jim Carrey has not signed back on to be back
Oh,
in
that's
this
a
one.
bummer.
So, but that could change. We don't know.
What do you think they could possibly be filming without actors or writers?
Well, I mean, they're introducing Shadow into this.
Right.
I just know, like, I have all the friggin' Sonic pop vinyls behind me that I bought for my son. I know all the characters now, and like they've got Tails and Sonic now, and they could be doing their own thing. The only actors in it are like James Marsden and his wife and stuff, right?
Right.
So
Oh,
if
right.
they're
Yeah. It's
if
mostly
they're just
animated.
filming the CGI parts, all it is like an empty field, I guess. But I don't like that's
Okay.
all I'm picturing is them filming an empty field and them saying like, yeah, this is where Sonic's gonna be. I don't know. The new horror film Talk to Me, which we both saw and we're gonna talk about later, already has a prequel
No
that was
way.
filmed back to back with the original. But no release date has been set for that yet.
So they're
And it
doing like an
is
X thing, an X Pearl
yeah,
thing.
exactly. And it's officially getting a sequel now as of this week. Talk to Me
Oh
2
boy.
will be written by Danny and Bill Hinsman, the Australian brothers who directed the original. So they are returning and it'll be with A24 still. So I don't know. We'll talk about
Okay.
how we felt about the first one in a little bit.
Yeah. That
The
could be
trailer
fun. I guess that could
for
be fun.
yeah, the trailer for The Continental has been released. I thought this was going to be a series. I'm very happy to see that it's just it's the new John Wick spin-off show, but it's really just a 3-part event, so like a really long movie.
Oh, okay.
And it's set in the 70s with like Winston, the Ian McShane character. So like
Yep.
he's younger and he has a brother, and I think his brother in present day is going to be played by Mel Gibson because he's in the series,
Hmm.
which is interesting. So
Yeah.
that will be every weekend starting the 22nd for 3 weekends. There's going to be 3 parts. So
Okay.
could be good. Who
Yeah.
knows? I'll probably watch that. And a trailer for A24's new movie, All Dirt Roads Taste of Salt. Sounds like a very A24 title.
For real. That's like if you put into AI, make me a A24 movie title, that would be it.
Yeah, and like it's something you could easily make fun of. It's like, if you heard it like All Dirt Roads Taste of Salt. Like it just sounds so like could sound corny, but like the movie could
Yeah.
end up being fucking incredible. Who knows?
Did you watch it?
No, I didn't watch it. No.
Okay. All right. Me neither.
Disney Plus and Hulu will reportedly be the next to crack down on password sharing,
Yep.
like Netflix has done this year. It's funny, Netflix got a lot of backlash about that at
And they
first.
ended up
I mean, they're still doing it.
no, so I don't know. I thought that's what you were gonna say. They ended up gaining 5 million subscribers in the US.
Shut up, really?
Yep. Yep. I
Oh, I
just saw
didn't
it in
even
the
hear
news.
about that.
Yep. So everyone who said they were gonna cancel and
Oh, I know.
they
That's
grew.
a that's the thing is like sometimes like all that backlash and then everyone just shuts up about it
Yep.
because it's like everyone still wants Netflix.
Right.
So,
Like
anyways,
my mom's a good case for this. She was using my sister's ex-boyfriend. My sister's now married, right? So
oh my god,
she's been using my Ryan, his name's Ryan, for years. Years.
yeah,
My sister's been married for many years now. So, and my mom would like send him like $5 every couple months just as a thank you. But so it kicked her off and she was like, "Oh, okay, I guess I'll get it myself now." But she hasn't. She
yeah.
hasn't gotten it yet. So,
She'll see some trailer for something that she wants to watch
yep,
and then
yep,
get it one day. But
yep.
Sharknado is coming back to theaters for its 10th anniversary on August 15th and 16th. It is apparently remastered with hundreds of new special effects. They say.
Hundreds.
They say it's like apparently they've put in a bunch new special effects. I don't know what that means. I don't know if it's ever even been shown on the big screen before. Really?
Have you seen it?
No. Have you?
I haven't either. I've seen YouTube reviews of it, you know.
Yeah.
Of course, I've seen the clips with Tara Reid, and I know of the movie. Um,
Yeah.
oh, and yeah, once you get through the news, I have a movie confession to make.
Okay.
But
I
that's interesting. Maybe I'll go see it. I might be able to be talked into going see that.
I might too. I really hate bad acting, and
Yeah.
I did watch the trailer for the 10th anniversary thing, and Tara Reid has like 3 lines in
Oh,
the
she's
trailer,
so bad.
and I
She's
wanted to claw
so
my
bad in
eyes
that.
out.
She's just terrible.
It's so bad. And then the remastered version of Park Chan Wook's classic Old Boy is in theaters August 16th as well. It's coming
So
back.
I am so excited for this. I had it on my
Yeah.
calendar. Remember we talked about this when they announced it.
Well, remember,
Yeah,
we
it
were
came
assigned
up.
it or it came
Yes.
up and then I watched it. I didn't love it. I couldn't like get into it. So I was like, I'd love to see it in theaters, and you were like, and then now you saw like a week later
Yeah,
coming
it
to
was.
theaters.
Yep, yep.
So
Yeah, it's next Wednesday is when it's showing at one of the AMC's near me, and I will
yeah,
be there.
that's awesome. Yeah, I gotta look to see if I can get to it because I do want to see it on the big screen. Um it's a movie that I definitely want to see again because I the first act is so odd. It is
Mm.
just like it is just I don't even. Well, we'll talk about it when we see
Yeah, we'll talk
it.
about it next week probably.
Last bit of news before we jump into box office, but this is kind of box office related. Insidious just became the highest grossing horror movie of 2023. So Insidious: The Red Door has made $182 million. That's nuts.
That's so wild to me to think that it's beaten Megan and Scream 6.
Yeah,
I mean,
and
those
Evil
were
Dead Rise.
huge, and
Yeah,
Evil Dead Rise.
but all of
But
those
it's
have made
yeah, they've been
140, 168, 179. Like horror is just dominates,
yep.
Like we got this new one coming out this weekend. I am excited for it.
Oh, is that the V one? The one with the V
The
in it?
last voyage of the
Yes, Voyage.
Demeter, which is it's a really interesting story because it's about, if you've seen Dracula or any of the Dracula stories, there's always the part where he leaves England and then no, he leaves Transylvania on a boat and comes over to England, and what happened on that boat, like there's always like, like everybody died or something like that, right? So this is telling the story of that
Mhm.
trip. So I'm kind of interested. I think it's a really cool idea for a story actually, but
Yeah, so this piece of news to me is it's just whatever. I mean, I didn't like that movie, The Insidious,
me,
The Red
yeah,
Door.
not really, yeah.
So I guess it'd be nicer to see a better horror. I mean, even Megan was better. Like if
Yeah,
Megan had been number one, but that's pretty close. They're only $3 million apart. So
they've all done well.
yeah.
And the last I heard, like they're doing an Insidious spin-off like kind of thing.
Okay.
But I've also heard like the creator said that they were not interested in like continuing the Insidious franchise anytime soon. So, but this could change their minds. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
But good for Patrick Wilson. I mean, his
Yeah. I'm happy
directorial
for him.
debut,
Yeah.
right? But okay, lead us into box office.
All right. Before we go into box office, I want to just confess that I finally watched Rear Window, Alfred Hitchcock's movie. I had never seen it. It was on my list of embarrassing movies that I've never seen, and it was phenomenal. Just fantastic.
Really?
Yeah, it was great, man. It's such a great movie.
Okay.
You know the one, it's him, he's got a broken leg. He's in
Yes.
an apartment and he's just watching everybody doing their own thing, thinks he sees a murder and it goes from there. Um, it was just awesome. It was awesome. I was watching movies with my mom and we passed by and she's like, "You've never seen Rear Window?" So anyway, finally saw it. Put
That's
it behind me.
awesome. I forgot that I had all of like Hitchcock's on Blu-ray or a lot of them in like a set. So
Nice.
I'm going to do it one time. Maybe I'll add a bunch of them to my like October 31 Days of Horror that I do.
Oh, that's
Um,
cool. So
uh,
so you've seen it?
no, I haven't. I've only seen Psycho and the Birds.
Okay, yep.
Um,
Oh,
and
cool. Yeah, once you get to it, you'll like it. It's good. It holds
yeah,
up
I
well.
mean, I bet. And then Bruce Perky from Cinematics, he was telling me all about Vertigo,
Yeah, that one's great too.
and telling me that I need to see that one. So he said that I might not like Vertigo, but I don't.
Hmm.
I think I will, but
I think pretty much everybody would. It's an interesting story. It was one I got to see in the theater. They were showing it in
yeah.
Chicago, and I went to
Oh,
see it.
that's cool.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. And they had, God, I miss Chicago. They had they had this giant organ piano, and before movies like Vertigo, Manhattan, they had this big old fat guy in a suit come out and play the piano to introduce the movie, and the curtains would rise. I mean, it was
Oh
like you're
my
back in the
god,
50s. It was so
that's
awesome.
I love that kind of extra flair and
Me
shit
too. It
when you
makes
go
the
somewhere.
difference.
Yeah, you're just because look, you're talking about it. Years later, you're
Years
talking about
later.
that, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
you'll never forget. It's just like that little stuff sometimes can make the difference of a
Yeah.
good
All right.
experience,
So
but
so this is the box office last weekend. I know we're coming up on the next weekend, but
yeah,
not
that's okay.
not too many surprises here. Actually, there's one surprise. All right. So of course
Yeah.
Barbie's number one with another 53 million. It dropped, I think, only like 50% or less than 50% in its third week, which is just insane. So
Hmm.
it's at 460 domestic, and then anyone that's listening to this podcast probably has already heard it's crossed a billion
Hmm.
worldwide many days ago.
Yeah.
The surprise to me is that Meg 2 opened with 30 million. Because I kind of thought Meg 2 was gonna bomb or not do too well. And
Yeah, I heard early saying that it was doing well. Sorry.
yeah, yeah. And so Meg 2 opened on its first weekend with $30 million domestically, which just ain't bad at all. That's not shabby. Um,
$130 million budget.
world oh, 130. Okay, yeah.
So
All right. So they'll probably make it back.
they could. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was so close because look at this. Oppenheimer was number three, right behind it at 29 million. Then Mutant Ninja Turtles was number four with 28 million. So it's 28, 29, 30 million. They're all right
Yeah.
there. And then in number five, Haunted Mansion for 9 million, which is in its second weekend, I think. Um, which is just
Ye- yeah.
yeah, at least second week.
Meg 2 has made 152 million worldwide already,
Okay.
and that's 1 week.
Yep.
So
Yeah, so that's doing fine.
so
So yeah, so that's the box office.
when we get two movies coming out this weekend, when we get down to there and I say them, we should talk about who we think how we think it might shake out this
Yeah,
weekend.
okay.
That'll be interesting.
Yep.
I have Meg 2 here first. You didn't see it, did you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you saw Meg 2?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yep.
Well then let's jump right into Meg 2.
Sounds good.
Directed by Ben Wheatley. He's a horror director known for Kill List, High Rise, and then 2 years ago, I think, Free Fire. Did you see that with Brie Larson?
Oh, I loved Free Fire.
Yeah,
I
me
thought it was
too.
great.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
he
so
directed that.
Free Fire, let's just mention that real quick. Free Fire is one of those
Hmm.
came out, came and went through theaters real quick. It's all set in one location for the most part.
Hmm.
Didn't have like a huge budget, but yeah, really well done. I liked it
It's like a deal gone wrong.
Yes.
With a
Yes.
bunch of people, like kind of a not a heist movie, but more just like it's like a heist that takes place in one room almost.
Yeah,
And
like
there's
a
just
warehouse.
yeah, it's a lot of fun. Definitely catch that one. So he directed that, and then obviously they gave him this big budget. Meg 2, based on the book The Trench by Steve Alden, which I have read. I have
No
read
way.
the first 4 Meg books because
I did not know these were books.
yeah, I've read the first 4. I love creature features, so yeah, I love it. It's starring Jason Statham, Wu Jing, Sophia Kai, Paige Kennedy, Sergio Paris Manchetta, Skylar Samuels, and Cliff Curtis.
Yeah, Cliff Curtis. Yep, yep. I like him.
They, I guess, well, I guess I'll just get into it. But like the
Yeah,
weird,
except to tell the plot, I guess.
oh yeah,
The plot.
so there's a Meg. Anyway, so the movie, so it's 5 years after the event of the first film. Jonas Taylor, played by Jason Statham, has it's weird. They kind of throw this isn't in the book, but they throw it in the beginning where he's like fighting environmental crimes and he's on like a
Right.
boat, and then he gets
He snuck onto this. It's
yeah,
kind of funny. He
like
sneaks onto
freighter.
this giant freighter, and it's just these evil guys with terrible mustaches who are like, "Yeah, let's dump all this toxic waste into the ocean because fuck all these fish."
Yeah,
Like they're so
and
evil
he's
and
like,
bad.
no, you don't. And,
Yeah.
and his no, you don't. And
You're
his,
all
and his-
arrested. He
yeah,
like points at him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so basically, like this isn't a spoiler because you find this out in the first 2 minutes, but like the 2 Asian people from the first movie are like dead. They have both died.
They both died off screen.
Off screen, which is like why I don't
Right.
know. I don't know why. So it's very much like a Alien 3 situation where like
Yeah.
they just killed off 2 characters because they couldn't get them back or didn't want them back or something.
Yeah, it was just more of a pain to have to deal with them than to just write new shit.
But in the books, I'm sorry, like not to, but in the books, like he ends up like marrying that girl.
Yeah,
and,
I thought it was his wife in the last one.
yeah, I don't know. They didn't get like they
Oh,
just
they had
met.
a thing.
Yeah, and then they had a thing, and then she's just dead now. And her dad, who was in the last movie, is
Oh,
just
yeah.
dead now. So anyway, so now Jason Statham is for some reason because apparently they have no other family to raise the daughter who was in the first movie. So now Jason Statham is raising her.
Yeah, and she doesn't seem all that shaken up that her mom's dead, by the way.
No, not a big no.
It's
Whatever.
not a big deal.
She'll survive.
Barely an inconvenience.
Barely.
So yeah, but so they got to go back down to these. Oh, how do they call it? The subhydrotonic zone.
Yeah, like in the first movie when they went down and that's how the first Meg came up. Well, that happens again. They go back down to the trench, and they encounter more Megs. They encounter more other
Creatures.
sea life, which is cool.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, and then like I guess I didn't say anything about the opening, but the opening scene you can actually see it was a trailer, and it's it's like with a T-Rex and it's all back
Oh
in,
right, yeah, yeah.
which was kind of cool.
It's back in like or Jurassic
No,
period.
it was the Cretaceous
Cretaceous,
period, I
thank you.
think. I think. Sorry,
You're right. No,
I'm
you're
a little
right.
bit of a dinosaur nerd. I have dinosaur books over there.
So I'm adjacent dinosaur nerd because I'm
Hmm.
such a space fan. So I know
Right.
lots about the time when the asteroid hit the
Hmm.
Yucatan Peninsula and killed the dinosaurs. They call it the KT because it's the Cretaceous, the end of the Cretaceous period. It ends
Hmm.
the Cretaceous period. Um,
KT. Why
yeah, I
K?
I don't know because Cretaceous is with a C,
Hmm.
but I will look that up and tell you.
Have you ever seen Deep Impact?
I loved that one. Yeah,
Okay, good.
yeah.
Because I just
When it
watched it
was
again. We had a outdoor, we had a
oh
fire,
man, I'm
and then
jealous. That sounds
we
awesome.
watched it on an outdoor projector, and I cried
I
again, and
love I
so
love the
good.
wave at the end of that movie. I'm
Yeah,
so, like, mesmerized by
me
giant
too.
waves, and the CGI is just
Yeah,
incredible. And
yeah.
when Deep Impact and Armageddon, they both came out around the same time.
Hmm.
I was
Hmm.
definitely a Deep Impact fan over Armageddon.
I saw Armageddon first, and then I saw Deep Impact, and I still love Deep Impact more.
Yep.
So, I think that's all I'll say because if you haven't seen Deep Impact, go see that. But uh, at the beginning, Tia Leone's character thinks she's uncovered something. She's uncovered an affair with this girl named Ellie. But then it turns out Ellie stands for is just ELE, which means extinction level
Level
event.
events,
And she
yes.
kind of like it's so the way that movie's written is it's so well done. A female director too, who has not
Oh, I
done
didn't know that.
much since, unfortunately.
Okay.
Yeah, Mimi Leader. Sorry.
But yeah, the Meg 2, there's a dinosaur scene at the very beginning.
Yes.
It's actually kind of fun where it's
Hmm.
it's prey eat prey, right? So we
Yeah.
start out with like a mouse eating a or do you remember the animals?
Yeah, it
Dragonfly
was
gets eaten by a lizard,
yeah.
lizard gets eaten by a mammal, the mammal gets eaten by this crazy fish dog looking thing, and then
And
then a
then there's
T-Rex
the
comes
T-Rex,
and then a
yeah.
giant Meg comes and gets the T-Rex.
Yeah.
It's a
It
cool
was
little
a
escalation.
yeah.
What'd
So
you think of the Meg
anyways,
2?
what's I really enjoyed myself, honestly. Like I didn't find myself rolling my eyes as much as I thought I would. Like it started out on Rotten Tomatoes at 0%. It's
Yeah,
gone
I was shocked by that.
yeah, it's gone up to 28%, which is still very low. But I just kind of had fun with this. It's not anything more like it's I gave it 3 stars, and I know that's probably way too high, but it's definitely not anywhere above that. I had fun with it, and I didn't think it was as dumb as everyone's making it out to be.
Yep.
But everyone's got
I'm
a
the same.
different. Yeah, I just
I'm
had
the
a lot
same,
of
Mitch.
fun.
I'm not mad at this movie. I
No.
would never call it a great movie. If someone said, "Hey, would you recommend I cancel my weekend plans and go see Meg 2?" No, but
No.
it you know what this is. It's called The
Mhm.
Meg. It's about a giant shark. It's
Mhm.
silly. It has some good special effects. Some of the effects aren't the greatest, but it does what it says on the box. It's a
Yeah.
summer shark movie, and I went in with low expectations, which helps always, right? And yeah, it was fun. It was goofy. I laughed.
I think a lot of people were upset
Great.
with with the length, right? It's 2 hours. It probably doesn't need to be.
Yep,
Um,
they could have definitely cut down some stuff. And there's
there's
some
yeah,
contrivances, like, of course, the little girl has to be a part of the mission, which is absolutely ridiculous.
yeah. There's
But
a lot of you can once you get into the movie, you could basically say, okay, I know this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen, this is gonna happen. But I don't know. There was some fun stuff. Like I don't want to give it away, but there is another creature involved
hmm
that even comes back later, where I was like, oh wow, that's okay, that's fun, and some other stuff like the trench kind of gets unleashed, is what all I'll say, and when they originally go down to the trench, that's a lot of fun.
yeah,
And when they're down there in these like exosuits and I love the undersea stuff. It's also my biggest like fear, so like it kind of
uh-huh.
really kind of really like gets in my head, and like I picture myself in there, and it's all dark, and but yeah. So, anyways,
Yeah, I liked it. I liked it enough. It was fine.
yeah.
I'll say this. I enjoyed it more. I had more fun with this one than the first one. The first one I really didn't like. The first one had me eye rolling and
Hmm.
saying, doing sighing and stuff.
Yeah.
So
The
now I
first
knew
one
what
had
to
a couple
expect.
good scenes, and that was kind of about it, I guess.
Okay,
Mhm.
yeah. So I gave this 2 stars. I probably would keep it there, but
Yeah.
it's not that bad of a 2 star. Again, it's fine. If you know what you're getting
Yeah.
when you watch a movie called The Meg 2: The Trench. That's it.
I gave it 3 stars just because like I wanted people to see my review and say, "Oh, maybe it's not that bad," right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
probably a 2 star movie, but I enjoyed myself and I had fun, and I don't think it's a bad movie, and it's getting kind of
Yeah.
beaten down,
Yeah, I'm
unfortunately.
surprised
But
by the critic response. I'm
yeah,
surprised the critic response is that low. I knew the
that
critics
low.
wouldn't love it,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
for it to be that low.
Well, they kind of gave the first one a pass, so
Right.
uh, what was it? Hold on, I have it here.
There's a great shot
Reception.
while you're looking that up. There's a great shot if you go to IMDb and pull up the Meg 2. The opening picture is Jason Statham leaning back on a piece of wood with his leg extended out doing a kick,
Mm-hmm.
and the Meg's face is like right up on him, which is just hilarious to think that like
Yeah,
his little teeny little foot would be able to hold back this massive fish.
yeah.
It's great.
It's really interesting.
Yeah, I mean the poster says "New Meg, old chum." I mean
Yeah,
it's just you know what you're getting. It was
yeah,
fun. I'd probably raise my review to 2.5. Actually,
yeah. Yeah. I just had fun. Did did her dad die in the first one?
yeah.
Maybe am I thinking he like I was wondering where he was, but I just didn't remember because he's in the books. He's in the books longer too.
Are they Asian in the book? Or do you
Yeah,
know? Do you remember?
yeah, they
They
are.
are.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Because
um,
I thought maybe the Chinese, was a little transparent. Because Hollywood's been doing that, bringing in
yeah,
Chinese artists to help sell their movie overseas. Um,
yeah,
but if they were Asian in the book, then
yeah.
look,
She was,
good for them.
yeah, she was a Chinese girl, and um, yeah. I when I read that, I was like, oh, well, that's good. It's nice that they're, but
Yeah, keeping to the source material. Yeah.
yeah. But anyways,
All right. What do you want to review next?
well, I have They Clone Tyrone next, so I'll just
Yeah,
quickly
let's
because
hear. What did you think?
you kind of talked about it. Um, this is They Clone Tyrone. I won't say too much about it anyway because it'd be too much spoilers. But it's John Boyega, Teona Paris from Candyman, or If Beale Street Could Talk, and
Oh, right.
Jamie Foxx, of course. Directed by Jewel Taylor. This is his directorial debut, known for writing Creed 2 and Space Jam Legacy.
Oof.
And
I like Creed
yeah,
too, but not Legacy.
yeah. Um, so it's a small rundown town. It's hard to tell. I want to say the ghetto. I don't. It's kind of like the ghetto-y parts. I don't know if that's racist to say. I'm not
Right.
trying to
No, I don't
say
think so. I
that.
think it's just a
I'm just
bad part of
there's
town. Yeah.
yeah. There's a lot of drugs. There's a lot of like
Gang
thugs
violence,
and gang violence and stuff
prostitution.
going on. Yeah. And John Boyega, he deals drugs,
Yeah. Yeah. He's a drug dealer.
and Jamie Foxx is a pimp. Teona
Yep.
Paris is a
Sex worker.
what do you yeah sex worker. Thank you. Did I just say oh? I didn't think
Well,
of the
pimps
proper
and hoes.
word. Yeah. So and oh my god, all three of them are just great,
Perfect.
just
Perfect.
great. This is a 4.5 star movie for me. It's on Netflix right now. I wish it had gone to theaters.
It did. I
Uh,
saw it in theaters.
oh yeah, it did. It's a
But
good.
no, you're right though. I mean, it didn't. I saw it at a small one, one theater. It didn't play at the
Yeah,
big ones. And I don't want to go on a random side tangent, but God, AMC, Regal, Cinemark, they need to realize streaming's here to stay and make some kind of deal with Netflix so that people can come see these movies.
yeah. Well, I think that's what the Academy's trying to do, right? By saying that they can't just do
A
limited
four
releases
wall.
anymore.
Yeah.
They
Yep.
have to
Actually
have
let
your
people see it.
yeah, give it a theater run. Um, But God, this movie is so much fun.
It's
It
a
is.
blast. It unravels. I mean,
Yes.
I went in knowing basically nothing but the poster, and it just keeps going. You're like, oh, what? That's that? No way! And oh, they're
Yeah.
doing this, and it gives you
Yeah.
like it gives you very oh, what's that movie that they Darling? I worry about you, darling,
Don't
or
worry,
don't worry,
darling.
darling. You get
Yeah.
a kind of
Yeah.
don't worry, darling feel, and then
Mm-hmm.
what was the movie that Don't Worry, Darling was taking on?
Mm,
The Stepford Wives. Stepford Wives.
yes.
So there's
I've never seen that.
I haven't either, but I've heard about it, and so anyway, yeah, Clone Tyrone is you get a feel like an eerie feeling like something else is going on here. What
Yeah.
is up?
For me,
And yeah,
I wish this movie wasn't. It did get a theatrical release, I guess, but
but barely. I mean, doesn't count.
for me, I think this is one of the best written scripts
Thank
of
you. I think so
the
too. The
year.
script is perfect.
So well written.
This and the
Like,
lesson. This and the lesson, which I know you haven't
which
seen just
I
yet.
was gonna watch this week, but I haven't gotten around to it. Yeah, this script is just so tight, so funny, so smart, and like the characters are so like deep and I just
They're well
I
realized. The characters are
yeah
very well realized, and especially John Boyega.
yeah
He's so surprising to me because you see him in Star Wars, and that's how the
yeah
world knows him. But if you think of the other movies he's done, Attack the Block, which was awesome, and he
yeah
was great in. And then remember
breaking
he did that one Breaking, yes,
yeah
he was great in that.
yeah
So he's really dynamic. He can play
mm-hmm
different characters really, really well. Because in Breaking, he was kind of like mentally disabled or a veteran with PTSD.
yeah he wasn't all there, like he was having
Right.
troubles.
Yep. And then this one, he's a really scary kind of drug pusher.
Yeah,
And you just totally believe it. For the first like 5 or 10 minutes, I didn't even realize it was him. I'm
yeah,
like, he just disappears into this character. And then
he
Jamie
does.
Foxx too.
There's the one part where he's like laughing, and then Jamie Foxx is like, "You're not supposed to be laughing. Wait, you
Yeah.
don't laugh." And then you realize it might be a dream or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was so well done because, and then you realize, oh yeah, he has played this like dour guy this whole time, and then Jamie Foxx is calling him out, and there's some really really great lines, some really good movie references in here.
Yes. Yes.
Um, like I like there's I can't remember what movie they're talking about, but like, oh yeah, that's a good movie, and Jamie Foxx, yeah, that is a good movie, and it's so good, and they mention X Files. It's definitely very X Filesy.
Yes. This could be an
So
X-Files episode for sure.
for
Actually,
sure,
this is a Black Mirror episode.
yeah.
Um, I know for sure, even though I haven't seen all of Black Mirror. But
And
yeah.
like it even reminded me a little bit of Attack the Block, just the way where it was set. It's kind of set in this like predominantly black neighborhood, and they're having to deal with it. Like there's only like I think there's one white guy in here. Oh yeah, Kiefer
The
Sutherland does.
manager,
Yeah,
Kiefer
he
Sutherland, and then the manager of
the
that chicken
manager.
shack.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
This
And
movie
the
is a
yeah.
treat.
It's
This
a
movie
it's
is
a
a
real
treat.
treat. It's a real trip and a treat.
Yes.
And it's best to go in not knowing that much.
Yeah.
And I mean, really, how could you not like John Boyega or Jamie Foxx? If you like either of
Yeah.
them, you'll really enjoy this. I had my dad watch this, and he really loved it.
Good.
Um,
Good.
and yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see.
Wait. What was the movie you had your dad? You told your dad to watch, but then he watched something else.
Yeah, so I had been talking about The Lesson, which I reviewed on this podcast, and I talked to you about Mitch.
Yeah.
This is just amazing script. It's so well written.
Yeah.
So I downloaded it onto my streaming service called Plex for my dad and like friends and family can watch. And he went to watch it, and he was telling me, "Are you sure you like this movie? Why would you like this? It's kind of boring." And I'm like, "Just keep going with it. It's a little slow, but I'm like, the script is perfect. It all comes back together." And at the end, he's like, "Yeah, I guess that was okay. I don't know why such and such killed or almost killed somebody." And I was like, "Pregnant woman? Like, there's no pregnant woman in that movie." And then we figure out that I downloaded the wrong movie completely. The Tutor is what he watched, and
From 2023?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
Garrett Hedlund, Noah Schnapp,
yes,
or Schnapp, however you say his name. Okay.
The
Yeah.
Tutor. And so, I'm just like face palm because it's totally my
That's
bad.
funny.
Because when I download stuff, I don't always play it to make sure it's the right thing.
Well, at least he didn't hate it.
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Um, but yeah, so
um,
that's they Clone Tyrone. I gave it 4 stars. To
yeah, I gave it 4.5.
Yeah, it's great.
It's great.
It's an awesome like parody black movie, you know. And if
Hmm.
I'm gonna speak out of school a little bit here. If I were a black person and I were to see this at face value, it might be offensive because of some of the stereotypical things they do in it. But
Yeah.
they're making a joke on a lot of this stuff.
Hmm.
Like the name of the restaurant, the street names, they're all
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
wink wink nudge nudge. Like isn't this what a white filmmaker would do if they didn't know black community really and were trying to
Yeah.
portray it, you know? So
Yeah.
I like that part of this movie. It's
Yeah,
just
and of course, like I said, the three main characters are a pimp, a sex worker, and a
drug dealer.
drug dealer, right? And they're all black. So it's definitely someone might look at that and say, okay, well, that's kind of a bad, you
Yeah,
know.
why are you portraying them? Yeah.
I mean, but we've seen that in movies
Yep.
with white people, with white characters too. So
Yeah.
it's fine. It's whatever. Anyways, so
Yeah. Yeah. No, no, I get it. I get it.
um,
So yeah, that's
talk
They
to
Clone
me.
Tyrone. It's on Netflix now.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. It's right there. It's available if you haven't seen it yet. It's just funny that you saw it in theaters because I keep wanting to tell everyone because on Cinematics and the Film Vault, they're both talking like, I wish it got a theater run, blah blah blah,
Right.
and I keep like wanting to say, Aunt did see it in theaters, but
So I'll tell you this, I saw in the theater, there was one other person there with me,
oh no,
and I didn't see an advertisement for it. The
nope,
only way I knew it was there was, and this is what I do, Mitch, literally almost every day, pull
yeah,
up Fandango and I go
hmm,
theater to theater to theater to theater to theater. I need to make my own app that reads the API because you know this stuff is pushed out to Grace Note, and I could make. Well, I'll tell you about it another day. But so I just go theater to theater, and I saw They Clone Tyrone. I'm like, what the hell is this? Jamie Foxx. Oh, all right, I'll go see it. And that's how I
yeah.
found it.
That's
Yeah,
what
I'm gonna.
I want an app here in Canada that just shows me like what I can see around me because
That's what I'm talking about.
I have three different theaters around me. Well, I have three different chains of theaters, but like the one chain is there's three of them. So like five different theaters and they're all playing different things. I have to go theater by theater to check what is playing where.
Yes.
And if I could just I don't even need to see the times if I could
Right.
just
Just the
see that this
title
movie is playing near
playing.
me,
Yes.
then I'd be like, oh, okay, that's like I didn't even know Lord of the Rings came to the theaters like until it was too late and I couldn't buy tickets. And I was
Yep.
like, I would have gone and seen every fucking one
Yep.
in theaters. But I had no warning. Like I even emailed my theater company and I said that. I said, is there a way for me to get email notifications? And they're like, yeah, if you go here and it's just the emails they want you to get, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I've been thinking about doing this, and maybe one day I will, because I have the technical ability to do this. So
yeah,
theater postings, the reason you can get to it from Fandango or Atom Tickets is because theater listings get posted out to an API, or it's called Grace Note, and anyone can pull that information down. Me, or a
yeah,
program or a company, Fandango. So I could write an app that you would plug in the zip code that you live in, and then it
yep,
would go pull from Grace Note and pull down, just like you said, just the title of every single thing
yeah,
showing, so that every
yeah,
day you could see what movie is showing.
yeah.
And I really should build it because it would save me so much time from having to check the theater every
Well,
single damn day.
I would love that. Someone's listening. Maybe they'll do it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Talk to Me is the new A24 horror movie directed by Danny and Michael Filippo. They are brand new on the scene, known for their YouTube horror channel called Raka Raka.
Yeah.
I've never heard. Have you heard of that?
No, I
No.
hadn't. I hadn't, man. It's just YouTube is just massive because you'll hear these guys
Oh,
when I think
yeah.
I've seen everything on YouTube, and it's like, oh, here's this group of kids,
Apparently
these
they're
two guys that
huge.
have millions of views. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was written by him and somebody named Bill Hinsman, starring. Well, the only person I knew was, speaking of Lord of the Rings, was Miranda Otto, who played
Same.
Eowyn in Lord of the Rings. But Sophie Wilde, Alexandra Jensen, Joe Bird, Otis Donji, Zoe Tarakis, who is making a lot of headlines right now because she is non-binary. So the
Oh,
movie is banned in like Japan, I think,
Wait, because the
because
actor is non-binary?
yes, and they don't
That's
even mention
bizarre.
it in the movie. They
No,
don't
the movie
even
has
mention
nothing to do
it.
with that.
Nothing. Anyways, Chris Alacio, Marcus Johnson, and Alexandria Stephenson. Uh, the movie kind of has its own like deal here. Uh, this group of friends have found this hand, and it is an embalmed hand. And if you grip it, if you hold the hand and you say "talk to me," you will see a random dead person sitting across from you, basically. And then you can say, "Let me in," or "I let you
I let
in."
you in.
And that person will be able to take over your body for a little bit, and then your body is kind of talking as that person, or reacting in a certain way. And it's about this girl. She's 17-year-old Mia. She is her mother is dead, suicide, and she doesn't have a great relationship with her father. But yeah, so basically she starts going to these parties and starts, apparently it's like a trip. It's like if you went to
Yes.
a party and just smoked a bunch of acid, or I don't know if you smoke acid, but like,
No.
if you
But
did a
yeah,
bunch of whatever.
mushrooms or yeah.
Yeah, exactly, together. And so like these kids, they're doing it, and they say it's just wild. It's like this trip, and they're taking videos of it. And then you can only imagine it goes wrong, and that's what it does. I don't want to really get into it. The main girl Zoe, her or Mia, sorry, her little brother is involved, and he's really good. Like all the actors are really good. This is an Australian movie,
Yes.
so you're not gonna recognize a ton of people. Like I said, Miranda Otto, and she is Australian, so that makes
Yeah,
sense.
she plays the mom.
Yeah, and
I
she's
thought this was
fun. But
excellent, Mitch. I loved this movie.
good, good.
It's on my top of the year.
Yeah.
It really scared me. It scared me good.
Mm-hmm.
Real good. Not as much as Hereditary, not those heights, but kind of
Yeah.
close. I mean,
It has the
it's
vibes.
terrifying. So yeah, like Mitch said, so it's these kids and they're using this, this thing to summon people from the deep as a drug. It's a nice parallel to like you're
Mm-hmm.
saying, if we all got together and took mushrooms and went on a trip together.
Yeah.
You shake the hand of this thing, you then start to see someone that's dead, and then you say, "I'll let you in," or whatever, and that brings them into you. And then the other kids film you because it's
Mm-hmm.
so funny what you're doing. You're contorting, you're drooling, you're crying, you're
And then
getting
you're maybe talking like this person would,
yes, you're
which is
talking like the
really
dead person.
creepy.
It's very unnerving.
Hmm.
And they time it. They don't let anyone go longer than 90 seconds or so
Yeah,
because
yeah.
they notice that it can be really bad. And they strap you down. They take someone's belt and they tie you to the chair so that you can't get up and start hurting people. And then
I'm
of
gonna pull
course,
my notes up for this.
like Mitch said, something goes wrong. One of the kids, one of the younger kids gets talked into convinced to doing it, and it goes really bad after that. And the movie's only 90 minutes. It's barely an hour and a half, maybe like 92 minutes.
It felt
Um,
longer in a good way.
it did feel longer to me.
Yeah,
And then I just, we're not going to spoil it, of course, but I thought the ending was fantastic. The ending was perfect. They
yeah,
just nailed the ending so, so, so well.
yeah.
Um, yeah, what were you? Do you have any other notes?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was gonna pull up my notes. Sorry, that's what I was doing, and then I got
That's all
sidetracked.
right.
I because there's one scene, um, where and I can't say too much, but I'll never forget it. And it's where the main girl kind of gets to look into maybe the dead world.
Oh,
She
yes,
gets a
yes.
very brief look, and that image was haunting to me.
Oh God, yeah. It was just
Um,
what limbo might actually look like when you're
yeah,
not dead but you're not alive.
yeah.
The way they portrayed that was really eerie. Yeah, and the
The only
special effects were great, I thought.
they were great.
The people that get beaten up or battered. And the opening scene is incredible. The opening scene, I think we can tell the opening scene. The opening scene is older brother's looking for his brother to party. He knows his brother's been acting weird recently because his
Oh
his younger
yeah.
brother has been fucking around with his hand thing. So he goes in looking for him. The kid won't open the door. They bust the door down. They grab the kid, and he's like, "Come on, brother, let me get you out of here. Let's go, like, deal with this." And he turns around for 1 second, and the brother pulls out some scissors and kills his brother, and then kills
Yeah,
himself.
just
And it's
randomly.
it's so disturbing because it's like,
And I
why would he
think
do that?
and I think that's what the prequel is about those brothers and about him. Which kind of
Oh, that
sucks
makes
because
sense.
yeah, which kind of sucks because we know the ending. The only thing I like, and this is like just my mind. There was a slower part. How would they know the time limits of how long they can hold the hand, and how do they know that they have to light a candle and blow it out? I mean, this hand
Yeah, the
didn't come with
candle
a rule
part,
book.
right? The candle part was weird to me too. I didn't really even notice the candle until
Mm.
later, until like when they were trying to go get the brother
Like
back,
blow it out,
kind of
blow it out.
thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but then I thought back. I'm like, oh yeah, I did have a candle.
I
You're right.
said
That's a movie thing, I think.
I let it go. I said the pacing was a little off, which is fine. This is like I still love this movie. Um, and I had to keep looking because I thought the main girl, I thought it was Lord. Um,
The Singer Lord.
excuse me. Yeah, I thought it was her. It looks just like her. And
So see, I see the main character as being
not the.
the black
I
girl.
apologize, not the main girl, but like the main girl's friend, like
Okay.
the with the curly hair
Yeah, yeah.
and I don't know if we really needed the whole like
Relationship
love
piece.
triangle kind of thing,
Yeah, that was a
but
little. That wasn't necessarily necessary.
it did lead to some good moments, like
Oh my God, with the foot.
with the foot.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, like I said, good practical effects in here. And then I said it's kind of like The Exorcist mixed with Nightmare on Elm Street, with like Evil Dead and Hereditary thrown in.
Yeah,
Like if
yeah.
you just throw all those in a blender, so if you like horror and you haven't seen this yet,
You gotta see it.
if Insidious is gonna be the number one horror of the year, that's sad because Talk to Me is
Actually scary.
great,
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
and
actually scary.
scary, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It takes a lot for horror movies to scare me, and because we're adults. Like,
Hmm.
I know ghost monster. Like, I just know it's just not scary. That stuff doesn't
Yeah,
exist. So when
yeah.
a movie can scare me, I'm really proud of it because I'm like, good job, you did it. Like, and of course, even though I don't believe in ghosts or I don't believe in spirits, any of the stuff that we see in this movie, it feels very realistic
Mm,
and like it might just be possible.
yeah,
So I'm really happy for these brothers,
me
these
too.
two directors, and
And so, like
just
I said,
another home run from A24.
oh yeah,
A24 must have the right leadership in place, and I hope it continues
me
forever.
too. Well, A24 is continuing to film movies right now because they have given in to all of the strike demands and said
Right.
like we will pay all this, yeah, perfect. So like it's that
That's
easy,
such that's that
Disney,
right. It's
and
that easy.
it's that easy.
And
um
yes, and not only are they following the rules, they're making great movies too.
exactly.
Yeah. So
So
yeah,
do you want
talk
to
to
talk
me.
about Haunted
Got to see it.
Mansion
Yeah,
quickly?
let me just mention it really quick. So Haunted Mansion is in theaters now, which is baffling. Baffling. Haunted Mansion is based on a Disney ride at one of their parks. There
Yep.
was a
Eddie
previous.
Murphy.
Thank you. Yeah, Eddie Murphy made a previous version of this movie. I haven't seen. I didn't even know about it until this one.
Really?
Um, yeah, I know, right? I was
I've
kind
never
of
seen it, but
so this has a huge cast, led by Lakeith Stanfield, who I'm a huge fan of.
yeah,
I
he's
love
great.
Lakeith Stanfield.
Yeah.
Everything he's been in has been awesome, but ATL, of course, as I'm from Atlanta, that show, I'm a huge fan of. But so we've got Lakeith Stanfield, Rosario Dawson, Owen Wilson, who's so goofy. Tiffany Haddish plays like a I'm Miss Cleo kind of lady in this. Danny
Okay.
DeVito, who's ridiculous here. Jamie Lee Curtis is funny to see. Jared Leto, and that's about it. There's a couple other people too. So
Yeah.
but why I say it's baffling is because Disney should have released this in October around Halloween. It's about
Yeah.
Haunted Mansion, and other people are saying, well, maybe they wanted to be released on Disney Plus around that time. I think they just knew it wasn't going to do very well.
Yeah.
It's written by Katie Dippold. I think she's the one that did the Ghostbusters movie,
Oh,
the 2016 one.
okay.
Um, yeah, she
Interesting.
was. And I only know that because of a YouTube video that broke down why that movie wasn't good.
Mm.
Not to say that that's not necessarily how I feel, but
Mhm.
anyway, that's her. Katie Dipple wrote it. And yeah, there's just not too much to say. So it's a single mom hires Lakeith Stanfield to come help exercise the new house because there's all these ghosts everywhere, and of course the
Right.
ghosts start to inhabit him. Um, the movie's just really bad, unfortunately. The writing
Mhm.
is really, really terrible here. The jokes don't work at all. I mean, I was hard rolling my eyes. In the theater I was in with my friend that we went to see this with, most of the jokes went over people's heads, or you just hear crickets. Um,
Wow.
yeah, it's and people are embarrassing themselves. Tiffany Haddish, her character is just embarrassing, and Danny DeVito is so obnoxious. So that's all I really wanted to say. It's a very bad movie. I think I gave it a half star, 1 star. I
Mm.
definitely don't recommend it.
That's
It's not
bad.
even so bad it's good. It's just it's just a bummer. It just sucks. So
Huh.
don't see Haunted Mansion. Oh, maybe if you have a 7-year-old kid. That's what I really, I mean that in a
Yeah.
genuine
Yeah.
way.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think if I was 7 or 8, maybe I would think
Yeah.
some of this stuff's funny.
Or and scary maybe.
Maybe. Yeah, yeah. There's a couple of imagery things that could be
I
interpreted
was
as
scared
scary.
of everything when I was like that age. So
That's so
you
cute.
know. Uh, oh, thank you. Stop flirting. Um. So yeah, one and a half, 1/2 star. Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah, it's
sounds about
just
right.
not good. I don't again, I think they dumped it because they knew it wasn't gonna do that well.
Yeah.
Because why else wouldn't you wait till Halloween for this? But
Or just
they tried.
put it right on Disney Plus in October. I mean,
Yeah,
maybe that's
straight to
what they're gonna
streaming.
do, but I think I'll wait. I know my youngest really wanted to see it. He loves scary stuff, so but I think
Yeah,
I'll
I
sit
think for
down
your
with him.
youngest it would be fine. Yeah,
Yeah.
you might get a kick out of it. But yeah, so that's Haunted Mansion. So will you have an angry black girl and her monster?
I don't have one, but I'm gonna review it.
Okay, that's better.
Hey, you've seen it? You did see this,
No,
right?
no, I missed it, man.
Oh, see, that's why I was only going to kind of briefly talk about it because I thought you'd seen it. So, an angry black girl and her monster, directed by Bomani J. Story, starring De Leon Hayes, Denzel Whitaker, and Chad Coleman. He was the only person I knew from Walking Dead.
Oh,
Um,
who? Chad Coleman?
yeah,
Oh yeah,
he played
he played Tyrone.
Tyrone, thank you. Yes, and he was good in that. He's very
He was
intense.
very good. Yeah, he's real
Yeah,
intense.
he's intense in this movie. He plays the main girl Vicaria. He plays her daughter. I mean, her father, and he's lost his wife, and now he's lost his son. And this main girl, Vicaria, it's basically a Frankenstein story. It's
Okay,
loosely based on Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. She thinks that death is a disease and that she can cure it. So she's basically got this like,
interesting.
yeah, she lives in kind of a rundown part of town and some empty houses, So she in one of the empty houses she has a like a secret lab, and in the lab she, you know, uh, like it's alive.
Uh-huh.
She has stolen her brother's body, and nobody knows. And then
Where stolen it from where?
so her brother was shot,
Okay.
and the body went missing not long after, and she took it because after her mother's death, she thought that uh
I can bring them back.
yeah, death is a disease that I can cure.
Okay.
Death can be cured is the tagline of the movie. And so she one night uses lightning and all this power. She thinks she figures it out, and she brings her brother back to life.
Yeah.
And he is basically Frankenstein. He's this super strong monster that can. He's basically like almost a superhero. Like he can like pick somebody up and throw them really far, like like a monster.
Okay.
And
And
so she's
that's who the what's his name plays? Chad Coleman?
no, Chad Coleman is her dad.
Okay, okay.
Um, uh, yeah, Chad Coleman is her dad. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. You don't really see the monster much. Like he's kind of hidden. He's always wearing a hood. Uh, this movie made on a really small budget. You can kind of tell.
Okay.
It hasn't made a lot of money. I didn't love it. It is streaming as of June 23rd, and
On.
it's sorry, it's like VOD. You can
Oh,
rent
okay.
it,
Gotcha.
but
Yep.
and the movie is more about her relationship, like her trying to live in this like rundown town, like no money. It's a race. There's a lot of race stuff about cops and stuff like that, and it just didn't work for me the way Candyman did.
Mm.
Whereas like I felt in Candyman, it all worked like really well, and I love that movie,
Yeah.
and
Me too.
the race stuff hit home, and
Yeah,
this
they did a good
and
job with that.
yeah, and this just felt kind of heavy handed. There's a lot of relationships here that just don't work. The
Mm.
main girl, I didn't find her compelling or like very interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
Not good screen presence from her.
no, this is a 2.5 star movie for me.
Okay.
Like it could be a 3 star. I think like some people might respond to it. It just there's not enough horror either. Really, it's not
Mm.
scary or horror at all. It was kind of a letdown. Unfortunately, it was,
Yeah, it only has a 5.0 on IMDb, which is surprising.
but
Because it has a 85% on Rotten Tomatoes.
that's a lot of. I kind of was looking into that, and I think that's a lot of people like review bombing because it
Black
kind of
Cast.
targets cops, and
Oh, okay.
it doesn't like target them, but it kind of like someone gets shot for no reason, right? And
Aha, right.
which does happen
Sure.
and blah blah blah. So
I got
um
you. I got you. Yeah.
yeah, okay.
So that's how he dies. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, that's how he dies, and then yeah, a lot of stuff, but there's a lot of drug stuff. Like she gets involved like with like selling drugs or like having to like keep this drug dealer at bay and stuff. It just none of it felt too like staged and not real enough for me.
Okay.
Um, but anyways, but I think some people will respond to it. I know they kind of liked it a little bit better than me over at Cinematics, but that is okay.
Yeah.
So I think that's it. That's everything we've seen, right?
Yeah. Yeah. But now you're gonna
I
do. Oh, you just deleted it.
I have not seen Being John Malkovich,
I haven't
and
either.
I put it back in the box. I'm gonna pick a new movie
Okay.
because I'm just not in the mood or the headspace for a Charlie Kaufman written movie
Yeah.
right now. It's just not kind of like where I'm at. So I'm gonna pick a new movie from the little black box of movies right now. And sorry, I've put being John Malkovich back.
I'd love if you picked it again. That would be so damn
That
funny.
would be funny.
And I was gonna say, if you need help or need a commitment, I'll commit to watching it. But we'll do something else.
The Third Man, put in there by Diana Van de Kamp. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, so The Third Man, I will watch. I will watch that for sure. Um,
What's the third man?
don't know anything about it. The Third
I've
Man,
definitely heard of it. I think it's a classic.
1946
Okay,
noir thriller starring Orson Welles.
great.
Okay, well that'll be cool.
Yeah,
Okay, so
I'll add it to our
yeah,
Plex for us.
so coming to streaming. What is today? What's the date today? The 8th. So
No,
today, as
today's
of
the 10th.
today's the 10th. Oh my god, it's the
Yes.
8th month. So this week apparently Cobweb is available now, video on demand,
Oh
and
yeah. You
which
gonna watch it?
yeah, I think I'll watch it. We haven't had a ton of horror. We've had some good
No.
horror, but we haven't had a ton of it. Um, and uh, Alex Winter's new documentary called "The YouTube Effect" is available for streaming as well.
Oh, I just added that to Plex. Do you know anything about it? I really want to watch that.
No, but Alex Winter's great. So
I gotta
if
watch
it's
this. Yeah, I gotta watch this.
yeah, he did. What? No, what am I trying to think of? Alex Winter movies. I know it's stupid that I don't know this, but
And I want to tell you too, while you're looking that up, Mitch.
yeah.
Um, I just added Back to the Drive-In on Plex, which is a documentary I saw in theaters, maybe in February or something. And
Yeah.
to listeners or to you, just anyone that cares or likes drive-in movie theaters, it's a great little documentary about the ones that are still alive and kicking in North America.
Okay.
And I'm real biased because they actually feature one that was on Cape Cod, Mitch, that I go
Oh,
to, that I've been going to since I was a little kid. Yeah, it just happened to be in there. They went to like 6 or 7 different ones, and one of the ones they went to was in Cape Cod. So
okay.
it was cool. It's called Back to the Drive-In.
So Alex Winter is one half of Bill and Ted.
Oh,
He's obviously not Keanu Reeves' character. He's the other guy, and he's also a director. And he directed Zappa, another documentary, Showbiz Kids, the Panama Papers, Trump's Lobby. So that's a short. But anyways,
okay.
I thought he was someone else. So that is anyways, apologies for that little sideline. Um so and then yesterday that came out on streaming was this little indie kind of horror drama that I've been meaning to watch called Enos Man,
Like
ENYSMEN.
penis.
No, Enos Men. But I've been meaning to watch that. Apparently, some people love it, but that is now available. On the 11th, which is tomorrow, Friday, a few movies drop. Asteroid City will be on Peacock. New movie starring Gal Gadot on Netflix. It's a new action called Heart of Stone. That'll be on Netflix. Medusa Deluxe, a new A24 movie coming to VOD tomorrow. And then a lot of talk about this Red, White, and Royal Blue, a gay romantic comedy between like two princes. It's based on a book, so it's got a following already. I just saw it's got like 86% on Rotten Tomatoes as of today. So I might try to see some of those. We'll see with the Gal Gadot one. I'm not a huge Gal Gadot fan. I don't
I'm
know,
not either, man. I
but
actually really think she's a bad actress.
yeah, I
I,
do
I
too.
liked I liked Wonder Woman, the first Wonder
Me
Woman.
too. Yeah,
She did fine, and I like that story. I love that scene where she's running up on the battlefield and dodging bullets. That was so cool. But
so
the rest
cool.
of her work is pretty bad. It's
Yeah,
pretty bad. Like
yeah.
Red Notice, she was terrible, terrible.
And then when she showed
Um,
up in Shazam, oh my god.
oh God, I mean, she's beautiful, so there's that gets her a
Yeah,
long way. But oh, the
yeah,
Death on the Nile was terrible. She was
yeah.
so bad in that. So
I agree.
I'm surprised she's still getting work, to be honest. And
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be mean, but she'll be just fine.
I
She's a
think she had
beautiful
a deal
model.
with
She'll be just fine.
Netflix
Oh, okay.
like a while ago, so that's why she's been in a couple now. Like she was in that Red Notice, I think, with The Rock
Yeah.
and Reynolds. But so coming to theaters, the two big ones is the Gran Turismo movie. It's based on a true story about a kid who used to
I
play
think
the
they
video
pushed that
game.
back.
Did they?
Yeah, that's coming out like August 29th, 28th weekend. They moved it like that. Like I had a chance to see it
Huh.
last Wednesday or something. They did a preview screening. But yeah, if you go look it up, man, it's saying now August 28th or something.
Oh, well then
I
shit.
know it's bizarre. It's really bizarre because they did it like the last second.
No, because
No?
oh no, you're right. August 25th. But
Yeah, right?
some but okay, so they pushed it 2 weeks for some
Weird.
reason. Right. But then they've also had like screenings for it this week
Yes.
and last week, which is
Yep.
odd. Anyways, so I guess it's not coming out. I apologize.
Yeah, whatever. I shouldn't have even said anything. Doesn't matter.
No, I apparently but check because apparently there's pre-screenings of it like this week and
Yeah.
maybe next week. You might be able to catch it the one night if you want to.
Yeah, I thought about it. Regal was having an IMAX one either this Wednesday or this past Wednesday.
Mhm.
Um, I almost went to it, but I didn't.
Okay.
But I
So
will
it's
see
like
it.
I said earlier, the last voyage of the
Yeah, Dementor. That one I can't wait to
Dementor.
see. Maybe I'll see
Uh,
that tonight.
yeah. The Pod Generation, starring Amelia Clark and Chiwetel Ejiofor, apparently is boring as fuck.
Really?
The cinematics crew did not like it. Tupi and
Is
Bino,
it
the
about
movie.
podcasts? Is that what they call it? Pod generation?
No, it's about a future where you can have a baby in a pod instead of like
Oh,
in the
okay.
woman, and then like and the woman can still work and stuff, and but it's not natural, and apparently it's just kind of boring, no tension, no um
Interesting. So I was looking up the show
conflict.
times around me for this movie, The Pod
Yeah.
Generation. It was
Hmm.
showing today one time at 6 p.m.
Hmm.
Tomorrow one time at 12:45 p.m.
Hmm.
Middle of the day. Maybe I'll go see that at noon
All
tomorrow.
45.
Yeah, because the other times are that's it. That's all it's showing.
Yeah.
So
Well,
it
there you
must be
go.
real limited or something. So yeah, The Pod Generation.
It's got like 40% on Rotten Tomatoes now.
Yeah.
Cinematics didn't like it, so it's up to you. I love Amelia Clark from Game of Thrones, but
Right.
so Tupi and Bino the movie, a French movie called The Beasts, and then another movie called Passages,
I
a
want to see
drama.
this.
Passages.
Yeah,
So
because I
starring
love
Ben.
Adele
Yeah,
Exarchopoulos. I don't know how you say her name.
I'm glad you said it. She was from Blue is the Warmest Color.
Yeah.
And then it's got Ben Winshaw in it. I read the description. It seems pretty interesting. So Passages is limited, and then a documentary called Satan Wants You. Get in line, Satan. Um, so yeah, anything else? Anything else you wanted to say?
Yeah, there's one. I thought there was one other Inside Man is coming out, and Aporia.
Aporia. They talked about Aporia on cinematics.
Yeah,
But
so
I
that one's not coming out near me, unfortunately. It looks good.
okay.
It's rated R. It's got 90% of Rotten Tomatoes. And
Yeah,
then,
they. It's is that the
do you remember what they
alien?
said about it?
No, I think I was
Um,
just starting to listen to it. Oh yeah, it's a time travel one. Okay,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, Judy Greer, they said it's good. Like one of them liked it, one of them didn't. So, but it's 90% on Rotten Tomatoes right now, and they said it does some cool things with time travel that you wouldn't expect, and Eric Holmes gave it like 4.5 stars, and then I think
Hmm.
I don't want to give away their show, but yeah, so
Well,
I'm
all
at
right. So that one that's coming, and then there's one called Inside Man, based on
hmm,
true events. Disgraced police detective seeking redemption by going undercover to expose a violent crime syndicate. It has what's his name? Emil Hirsch,
hmm.
who you know him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Into the
you
Wild, one of
recognize.
my favorite movies.
Yes. Into the Wild, Speed Racer,
Yeah.
The Girl Next Door, and then it also has Lucy Hale, which she's a
Lucy
horror
Hale.
stand. You know
Yeah,
her?
yeah, yeah. Ashley Green.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, Ashley Green
Well,
too. Yeah, so that's Inside Man. That's coming out this weekend. It
okay.
doesn't look like it's showing near me, unfortunately. Ugh, that sucks. I just hate when
Wow.
a new movie's coming and it's not showing near me. So anyway, that's what's coming new.
Well, we'll have a few new ones for you next week. I'm gonna definitely see the Voyage of the
Okay, I will too. Maybe I'll
Demeter.
see that tonight.
Um, I might, but I think I'm gonna watch some of these streaming ones, like the Medusa Deluxe, the A24 one, and then maybe the Gal Gadot one if I hear good things. I don't know, but I will. We'll have some new stuff for you next week. Thank you everyone for listening. Glad to have Ant back. Thank you, Curtis, for filling in last week. And all of our stuff is below. Follow. And I just posted a new Film Vaulters. I'm recording another one tomorrow, so go over and listen
Cool.
there.
Who are you interviewing tomorrow?
Rand Courtney. So I'm
Oh, he's a
excited.
director, I think.
Yeah. I'm excited
I'm
for
setting you
that.
up.
Thank you, bud. Yeah, so director Rand Courtney, I'm excited to talk to him. And other than that, we will see you next week.
Next week. Great.
All right.
Thanks, Mitch.
Bye, guys.